Hello, and thank you so much for joining me on another Business Spotlight for the Lenawee Pet Collective, sponsored by Pets in Focus. Today I'm so excited to meet with Dena Gilmore, the owner of Wags to Wiskers Tecumseh. Now, you may have the newest pet shop in town, but you are not the new kid on the block in Tecumseh, are you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I've been in business 21 years, and Tecumseh's been on my radar for about 15 of those years.
You used to live in the area, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's
I've lived in Tecumseh for those 15 years.
Yeah.
But I was waiting for a little more rooftops to happen here.
Yeah.
And I wanted to wait for the community to be really ready for us.
Yeah, I think we sure are.
I hope so. Thank you for saying.
So tell me about your family and most importantly, your pets.
Well, you know what? My family is about my pets. So I have 3 dogs. I have a giant schnauzer named Dieter, and I have a boxer named Hannah, and then I have a hound mix that I rescued named Flynn. Aww. And so that's my family. And then, of course, it's my communities, and of course, Wags and my teams at Wags.
Yeah.
This has been such a passion for me, and that's all that my life's really been about. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's a very fortunate life because I'm surrounded by such wonderful people and wonderful humans and the animals.
And the animals.
And making
what it's all about.
Yeah, and making a difference in their lives.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, talk to me about what inspired you to start Wags to Wiskers originally.
Well, when I was 5 years old, I always knew I'd be in business. I was selling my
5 years old, you're an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Yeah, my brothers weren't too happy when I was setting up shop with all their toys and wanting them to buy them back. So I always knew I would be, but I also recognized that I needed to have my college education. That was my perspective, that I needed that, and corporate credibility. And I'm a big fan of Ford Motor Company, and I knew that I wanted to be in an autonomous job where I had more autonomy and I was able to make things happen. So I worked in purchasing for about 9 years.
Oh, yeah.
And again, when you work for a company, you're working 6 days a week, sometimes 7. And I did it from a passion place, and I wasn't upset about it, except at some point in those 9 years, I realized that I wanted to be able to make what I considered a difference to people. And then I didn't know how to do that. I was at New Jersey at the Edison Assembly Plant on a project, which no longer exists. But I remember sitting in my hotel room looking out of my window saying, Dena, what do you really love? And I love animals. And in that, I recognized I'd love to do something that was community-based. The era that I had grown up in, there was Woolworths and Kresge's and Sanders ice cream, where you'd go to and you'd see your friends and people. It was very nostalgic. It felt good. I wanted that in a business. And then what I wanted in that business is to make a difference. And I could do that with pets and their families. And then I wanted to mentor young people and show them that anything is possible. So I thought, oh my goodness, Dena, what is that? Opening up a pet supply store that is uniquely different. It's about community. It's about having solution-based products to help our pets. It's just not selling for selling's sakes.
Right.
You know, I always say I want to make a living, not a killing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I totally get it.
And then the other thing was growing up, having dogs. I had a bit of separation anxiety as a youngster. And when my mom and dad brought a puppy into the household, for whatever reason, that puppy changed my life. And I've never forgotten that. Yeah. And then it dawned on me, and I hope this isn't too forward to say, but what's dog spelled backwards? Yeah. And I always say that if we're aware enough, and you can recognize that, it's like we have angels amongst us.
We do.
And that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And being able to be in a business that wasn't necessarily about shareholder value.
Right.
Right.
In the corporate world, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was more about human value and soul value.
That's what it's all about.
Yes.
So when you talk about, you call your pet store a community pet store, that's what you mean.
Absolutely.
We come here, we see our friends.
Yes.
We're friends with the owners.
Absolutely. And if you need something, I'm going to, if you have a hard time paying for it, boom, here's your discount. Right. Or, one of the things that I learned in purchasing was how to buy product properly. So I'm able
It's a
to,
big part
right,
of running the store.
and I mark up from the discount that I get. So like I said, I always know make a living versus a killing.
Yeah.
I pound down my distributors and the manufacturers.
Yeah.
And again, being in this business for so long, I have a lot of really wonderful relationships, and they want to help me.
Yeah.
And in turn, I'm helping the community.
Yeah.
And I typically fill the stores up with what people want. So if you come in and you don't see your regular brand, you just have to say something and I'll bring it in and I'll be less than everyone else. It's because I want to help you.
Right. Yeah. That's what makes you different. So
Yes.
You're answering all of my questions.
Oh, that's great. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Because I was talking about, how do you engage with the local community and build up relationships? It's obvious.
Thank you for saying.
Anybody who has met you, it's obvious.
I appreciate that. I feel fortunate, and in my life, I am able to be me. Where it's very hard for people when we go to work, we got to walk the walk, typically in companies.
Yeah.
I can be me.
Yeah.
And that love that I feel for our animals and for the people that love their animals, it's right here.
Yeah.
And my God, every day to do that, that's the blessing.
It is. It's a practice of gratitude every time you come to work.
It is. And every night
That's the best job.
when my day ends, I'm very thankful. And I never forget that when someone comes into our stores and spends $1, I know that they made that dollar in the day in their life that they're not getting back, right? And
Right.
so they made a choice. Anybody that works for me and with me, they know that. Everyone has choices, and they chose to buy that product at Wags. Yeah, they could go anywhere.
Right.
But there's always an appreciation for that choice within our organization.
Yeah. You're answering my question before I even asked them.
That's wonderful.
Because I was going to say, what makes you different? I think that's a big part of it.
It is. I think so too. It's hard to, people wonder, Dena, how are you successful? This is a recipe that doesn't exist.
Right. You don't know how many times I've tried to find a checklist for a photography business that works.
I hear you. It has to be something that you're very passionate about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, what is your most memorable experience that you can think of that has kind of happened, like when you're opening your pet stores, or some fun story that?
Well, it chokes me up. The older I'm getting, it's harder to hold back some of the sentimental.
Yeah.
When I was first in my Celine store.
Well, that was your first store, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this has happened in some of the other stores, but this one stands out to me. And it's about nutrition. And I had a customer come in with her Dachshund and her husband and her 2 kids. And the mom was crying. The Dachshund was losing its hair.
Oh.
And the vet wanted to put the dog in a dip, like a flea dip. And a Dachshund's little. So a flea dip is toxic regardless.
Right.
And I
kind
said,
of like chemotherapy.
Thank you.
Kills everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Good and bad.
Yes. And I said, please give me 10 days. So they shared with me what they were feeding their baby. And I made a recommendation on the food. Now, most really highly nutritional, great foods are not any more expensive than the grocery store food. A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, people don't realize that.
No. And so I put them on a food that I thought would suit the Dachshund.
Yeah.
And age and so forth. They came back 10 days later with flowers and thankfulness and gratitude, because what I offered them, along with treats that were similar, what I offered them fixed their dog. Right? It's that continues to inspire me to do what I do.
Yeah.
Because it's from the inside out.
Just like we were talking about before we got on camera.
Right. Even
fixing them from the inside out.
Yes. We're very quick to throw medication at things when there's so much more that we can be doing that doesn't add toxicity to our toxic existence anyway. Right?
Yeah.
So that was, there's been a lot of stories like that.
Yeah.
That touch me.
Yeah.
And it reminds me that, Dena, you're doing the right things.
You are. Yeah.
And from my employees, seeing them grow, that also has touched me.
Yeah.
Seeing them expand their lives and look at life from a more of an opportunity versus, oh, I can't do that.
Right.
And so I
Yeah.
inspire them
Mhm.
as well as some of the customers
Yeah.
that anything's possible.
Right.
It's how much of that do you want,
Right.
right?
Yeah. So you, I mean, you, if I recall correctly, you sold your Celine store to a wonderful owner.
Yes,
And
my
now you
next door
have-
neighbor in Tecumseh.
Was it really?
Yes.
And then you
Yes.
have your Ann Arbor store,
Yes,
Chelsea,
yes.
Ludington, and now Tecumseh.
Yes, and this has
Yeah.
been, like I said, I've wanted this for 15 years, and I
Right.
feel
Long time
this
coming.
is like my ultimate. This is, I love my stores, but this,
Yeah.
the way it looks.
It's beautiful.
Thank
Yeah.
you for saying that.
Inside and out.
And we want to do a membership dog park. So as I
Yeah.
get things a bit more evened out,
Mhm.
we want to have a dog park here. We want to do so many things
Yeah.
that are as well community,
Right.
where there's not that option. I want people to be able to come here and hang out. They don't have to buy anything. Just come on,
Yeah.
hang out.
Right. That's the same. That's what the Pet Collective is all about. It
Here we
doesn't
are,
matter if
you
you're-
and I.
Right.
This is outstanding.
It doesn't matter if you're a photography client. I just want you to know what's going on in the town.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
All right. Tell me how people can find you, because people need to get in your store and see how
Okay.
wonderful it is.
Well, our phone number is 517
Yes.
815 1113,
Got it.
and our address is 1775 East Monroe, M50. And we're across from Polaris,
Mhm.
next to Baker Propane.
Yep.
Red building.
Can't miss it. Big
can't-
purple sign.
You got the big yellow and purples, all about the wags.
Yes.
And they can call, anyone can call, stop in. Our hours are 10 to 7,
Okay.
Monday through Saturday, and we're 11 to 5 on Sundays.
And your website?
Our website is wagstowiskers.com.
Right.
And then we have Facebook as well.
Yeah.
They can go there, ask questions, and we're always answering those questions and helping people out.
Dena, this has been awesome.
Michelle, I appreciate you.
Thank
It
you
has
so
been. It's so
much.
wonderful to have you be part of this with us. Thank
Yes.
you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.